Yo, what is up, guys? My name is Joe, and this is the One Man Weave. I just need to kind of get this out quick because it could happen at any moment. I don't know if my mic is working or if it's coming out of the computer, but we'll find out. I'm a Sixers fan, which until a few days ago I always qualified with, unfortunately. We got Jaylen Brown. Unbelievable. That's a whole different discussion, but this is a very time-sensitive one. I, today, July 3rd, have convinced myself throughout the day that the Sixers are about to acquire. If I'm looking down, I'm looking at my phone notes about this. I think the Sixers are about to acquire LeBron James. I think LeBron, the performative 41-year-old legacy-chasing man that he is, I'm not a LeBron hater as much as those were mostly negative adjectives. I think he's looking at these four teams, right? There's basically four teams in the hunt. And a few days ago, there were different four teams in the hunt. It's not the Spurs anymore. It's the Sixers because of Jaylen Brown. I've been following. I hate the betting markets and the collapse of society and all that, but I've been Googling poly market LeBron James over and over and over again for the last 24 hours. The Sixers were down around 5, 6, 7% for a while. When I woke up this morning, I almost jumped through the roof because they were up to like 19, 20%. And since then, it's kind of leveled out between like 13 and 15%. What's interesting about this is Cleveland has been at least 40%, pretty much between 40 and 50 this whole time. Obvious. He's from Akron. He played on Cleveland first. Like, that's the team he will be associated with, when he's long gone, more so, I think, than the Heatles or the Lakers, even though he did great things on both of those as well. And he very may well go back to the Caps. He very may well be chumming it up with Steph and Dre right now, in some penthouse in San Francisco. He might be out there doing that, and maybe he's about to sign a paper with them. That would make sense too, It would make sense in some ways. It would make sense because California, a team that knows how to handle a superstar, has the infrastructure for that, has proven that they can be loyal to one. It also doesn't make much sense to me for basketball reasons. LeBron is legacy chasing. Giannis has already signed elsewhere. Jaylen Brown has already signed elsewhere. Those two teams are, below the Cavs and even the Warriors right now in the LeBron sweepstakes, but those are the teams that have made big leaps so far, and LeBron himself will not be as big of a leap for the team that gets him as either of those players. If he's legacy chasing, which we all know he is, his best bet, basketball-wise, is one of the other three. And I would argue it's the Sixers probably. I could also see arguments for, Giannis is Giannis, but I think the Sixers have a better team than Miami right now, and the Cavs are, they were a better team than the Sixers in most ways this past season, but I just don't know if he fits as well with a Evan Mobley and a Donovan Mitchell who needs the ball a lot. LeBron can fit anywhere. That's why he's been one of the, top two greatest players of all time. I think he's number one, but I think it's fine if you pick either of them. Sorry, I had to take a call from my grandma's caretaker, which obviously I can edit out, and I press stop for that, but if my energy seems a little bit different. Where was I? You could absolutely make arguments for the Cavs being a better basketball fit or a better chance, at a title for 41-year-old LeBron. You could try to make the argument for the Heat. I would disagree on that one. But the point is the Warriors are the one you cannot make that argument for. They'd have to do more. They'd have to go out and do something. People do that for LeBron, but it's extra steps. I think that disqualifies the Warriors. I think he is primarily, and I think that associates him too much with KD, even though they're not the 70-win Warriors, 73-win Warriors they were in 2016, 2017. That still puts him on the same team as KD and Steph, the other two great players of this, the truly great players of this generation. Yeah, I don't think he's going to do that. I could see him going back to the Cavs, but it's so blah. They just lost. They do that again with him. That just hurts his legacy. I think the Sixers are the best shot for LeBron's legacy. I think they're the best basketball fit. I think Jaylen Brown's a dog. I always was forced to hate him, but I'm so glad we have him instead of like Jason Tatum. Oh my God. Jaylen Brown's an actual human being. Tyrese Maxey is a human being, and he's a dog. And VJ Edgecombe is a puppy. He's learning how to be a dog. He's already a dog, too. It's a team of dogs. And, you know, Joel's not a dog, but he doesn't have to be.
Joel has scored more points per minute than anybody in the history of the league. You can look that up. There's no asterisk there. Not when healthy, when anything. When he's hobbling on a quarter of 1 foot. You put 36 minutes of Joel Embiid basketball next to 36 minutes of Michael Jordan, and Joel's going to score 3 more points on average. I'm not making this stuff up.
Also, I'm obsessed with Joel Embiid, which you can tell by this irrelevant rant. But look, dude, I think LeBron is talking to Rich Paul, who also represents Tyrese Maxey. LeBron works out with Tyrese Maxey every year in the offseason because he saw a new dog and he needed that vampire blood to be 41 and still be a dog himself. I think he is trying to figure out, I think what LeBron's trying to figure out right now, to be honest with you guys, is whether to sign tonight or tomorrow with the Sixers. Because tomorrow is the 250th anniversary of this country, which right now I don't really feel like celebrating, but I think LeBron is like a McDonald's human being, so he's fine with celebrating whatever it makes, you know. That's an irrelevant point. Let's get into politics. I think LeBron's signing with the Sixers. I think he's going to take that vet min. I think he's still going to feel like he could play another year after this coming season, and maybe we'll sign him to a bigger contract after that. Maybe we'll get off Joel Embiid. I don't want to, but maybe that's what's the idea. It's going to happen. It is going to happen. I've convinced myself. We're still around 14% Sixers on Polymarket. It's happening. Don't convince yourself otherwise. And you're welcome. And also, this was my art that I made, my sad art, when the Sixers were losing this year. We were getting blown out so hard by the Knicks that I made sad Sixers art. So I'm going to have to make some happy Sixers art soon. I love you guys. Go Sixers.